You know, some of the most important work you'll ever do in your life won't be seen by anyone else. Not because it isn't real, but because it happens quietly beneath the surface. Healing is like that. We're often taught to recognize progress only when it's visible, when something clearly changes, when we finally feel better or over it. But from a psychological perspective, real change rarely begins that way. It begins in much smaller shifts, a slightly longer pause before you react, a moment of awareness where there used to be none, a choice to stay with a feeling instead of pushing it away. These moments can feel insignificant, but they're not. They are signs that your nervous system is learning something new. Instead of repeating old patterns automatically, you're creating space. And that space is where healing actually happens. It may not feel dramatic. In fact, it often feels uncertain, sometimes even uncomfortable, because you're no longer on autopilot, but you haven't fully settled into a new way of being yet. And that in-between space can feel like nothing is working, but something is. Every time you choose not to react the way you used to, every time you allow yourself to feel without escaping, every time you show up with just a little more awareness, you are gently reorganizing your inner world. This kind of work doesn't make noise. There are no clear milestones, no applause, but it is deeply precise. And I know there are moments when it feels invisible, moments when you wonder if any of this is actually making a difference, if it would be easier to just go back to the way things were before, to stop noticing, to stop trying. If you've felt that, it doesn't mean you're failing. It often means you're right in the middle of the process. Because healing isn't just about feeling better. It's about becoming more aware, more present, more able to choose. And that takes energy, more than most people realize. What you're doing, even quietly, is building the ability to respond instead of react, to stay instead of escape, to understand instead of repeat. And over time, that changes everything. Not all at once, but in direction. And direction, more than speed, is what shapes your life. There is also something else happening, a quiet ripple. When your inner world begins to settle, it changes how you move through the world. The way you speak softens. The way you listen deepens. The energy you carry becomes steadier. People may not know why they feel more at ease around you, but they will feel it. Your healing becomes a kind of safety that others can rest in, and that is not small. So if today feels slow, if it feels like nothing is really changing, if your effort feels too quiet to be real, please don't rush to dismiss it. There is more happening than you can see. And the way you've been showing up, even in the smallest ways, it matters more than it might seem. Thank you for continuing, even when no one is watching. I see you, and I'm really glad you're here. I'll see you in the next one.